Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea. Former preview of the Chelsea vs Middlesbrough game. Obviously with the kickoff being on Monday night. So, you know, the preview is quite early. But obviously as the press conference took place today, that's when I upload the previews, isn't it? So, first of all, before I start with the preview actually, I have to talk about something that usually would fall into the category of Chelsea Weekly. But as the news came out literally just not even hours after I recorded and edited it, I just thought I'd have to probably mention it now rather than waiting until next week. So there's been rumours that Diego Costa has agreed a summer move with a Chinese club. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name, so I'm just going to leave it a Chinese club. And then, you know, a couple of hours later, there have been reports that apparently the Chinese club have denied that. I say apparently because obviously they posted in Chinese and there have been translations. But obviously, I don't know if those translations are you know, correct. I don't speak any Chinese, so I'm just going to say apparently they denied that. Antonio Conte in the press conference did what he always does. He said, you know, doesn't really comment on it. He always says like it's about now, and he doesn't really care about. Well, no, he says he doesn't care about what happens at the end of the season, but it's not what matters right now. Anyway, so enough with that. We'll obviously have to wait and see what happens with that in the summer, whether he's off to China, whether he stays, or whether he's off to somewhere else. I don't think it's going to be off to somewhere else because I don't think anyone else that wants him will pay as much as we want for him. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, actually getting into the preview, starting off with Middlesbrough. And in case you hear any background noise, my neighbour just decided to start mowing his grass. Bit annoying, but I don't really have more time to record later, so I hope you don't hear it. If you do, I'm sorry. So starting off with Middlesbrough, they're in 19th on 28 points, 6 points of relegation off Hull City are currently in 17th. So they kind of need to win their remaining 3 matches, which makes this game even harder because these games against the teams that are close to being relegated or fighting against relegation are one of the hardest games you get all season. If they lost against Man City, although it would still, I think, theoretically have been possible to stay up, probably their belief would have dropped completely. But as they did draw 2-2, which I'm going to come to later, it will probably be a very difficult game, more difficult than some of us and a lot of, you know, neutrals probably think it will be. So the last 5 games, you know, they haven't been particularly great. They drew 1-1 at home to Burnley. They lost 2-1 at home to Arsenal. They got absolutely hammered by Bournemouth away, 4-0. Then they beat Sunderland at home 1-0. And as I said last week, they played against City and drew 2-0. The danger man, obviously, Negredo, you know, he's the top scorer and the player with the most assists. He's on 9 goals. And 4 assists. Adama Traore is obviously a great player as well. I'm not 100% sure if he's injured or not, you know. But, you know, if he plays, he's a really good player. He's really quick. He's really good technically. He just lacks end product from what I see. I don't watch particularly many Middlesbrough games, but whenever I do see anything, he seems really good. He just doesn't really have the best end product, which he definitely has to work on. But yeah, that's really everything about Middlesbrough. Difficult game, but obviously coming to the press conference now by Antonio Conte, there have obviously been some more injury scares. There have been reports that Courtois' ankle injury, which kept him out of the Man United game, got worse again. Conte said he's fit, he trained the last 2 days and, you know, should be completely fine for Monday's game. But he also said that with Luiz and Kante are 2 situations who are doubts for the game, but as we do still have 3 days to sort of prepare for the game and get ready for the game, he can't yet say whether they're going to be fit or not. Obviously, David Luiz, if you remember, came off with what looked like a groin injury against Everton. And Kante, according to Antonio Conte, is suffering with a minor muscular injury in his thigh. So we'll obviously have to wait and see. You know, it wasn't the most interesting press conference, but then he said, you know, there's no time and place for slip-ups and any mistakes, so obviously we have to win. He thinks there's the right focus, but every single player that was after, you know, asked about Diego Costa and Eden Hazard and all that, leaving and whatnot. But as both teams have to win, really, you know, like I said, Middlesbrough needed to stay up, and obviously we needed to win the league. It's going to be very difficult, and the team must be able to cope with the pressure. And then he was asked about something very, very interesting. He was asked if he only keeps playing Cesc Fabregas from time to time, will he be able to keep him happy? And the way Conte reacted to it, I find incredible. Because he said he doesn't really understand and he doesn't like it when people keep talking about players being unhappy. When you're fighting for 2 trophies, the Premier League and the FA Cup, you shouldn't really be unhappy. All that matters is winning. And if you win, and every player in the squad throws everything they've got into winning, then he doesn't care if anyone's unhappy. Because his mentality is the winning mentality, and what matters is winning. And, you know, then it doesn't really matter if anyone's unhappy. It is a bit harsh, and I think he put it across a little bit harsher than he meant it. Obviously, you can never forget that, you know, he's only been learning English for like a year. You know, think about yourself. How good are your foreign languages when you've been studying it for a year? So even when you're living in that country, you know, you can't take every word for granted. But, you know, it did sound very harsh. You know, you have to keep some team chemistry. You have to keep some team chemistry up. You have to keep players happy because, you know, whenever you have injuries, whenever you have suspensions, those players have to be happy while they're not playing, so they, you know, understand the philosophy, understand what the manager wants, and keep their full fitness up. So when they are needed, they can bring, you know, that they can show their full potential and show a good performance. So it is a bit harsh, but he's completely right. What matters is winning, because what are you judged by? You're judged by every player's being happy at the end of the season, or you're judged by how many trophies you won and what place you finished in the league. He's right. He's completely right. Coming to Chelsea, obviously I talked about the two injury worries, the two doubts in David Luiz and N'Golo Kante. So the question now is, instead of David Luiz, I'm just gonna, you know, say if he's not fit, because if he is, obviously he's gonna play. Will it be Nathan Ake or John Terry coming in for him? Most of you are probably gonna say Nathan Ake because he's the one that came on for David Luiz when we played Everton away. But that might also have been because John Terry wasn't in the squad, because to my knowledge, we have 3 centre-backs, obviously, and then we have 3 centre-back backups. And as I said, to my knowledge, we sort of have 1 backup centre-back for each of the 3 centre-back positions, being Kurt Zouma as the replacement for Azpilicueta as the right-sided centre-back, John Terry as the replacement for David Luiz as the central centre-back, and Nathan Ake as the replacement for Gary Cahill as the left-sided centre-back. What made me a little bit confused is against Everton when Nathan Ake came on, he actually did play in the middle rather than moving Gary Cahill across to play in the middle and Nathan Ake to stick on the left-hand side of the 3 centre-backs. So I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I don't really know. I prefer John Terry because, you know, he's off in 5 games. So he might as well play. You know, Nathan Ake can play next season. Yes, I know, you know, you have to bring the youth up, but I love John Terry, so I always want to see him play. But yeah, you'll probably have to take that. Just and then, you know, saying if N'Golo Kante misses the game, obviously we're sticking with the same formation with the 3-4-3 as we used against Everton. And obviously Cesc Fabregas will just come in for N'Golo Kante, is what I believe. If N'Golo Kante is fit, I think like we did against Southampton, Cesc Fabregas will stay in the team and we play a sort of mixture between 3-4-3 with Fabregas on the right wing and the 3-5-2 with Fabregas just ahead of Nemanja Matic and N'Golo Kante, because it looks like at home we're playing more of a playing kind of football, and it's, you know, away we're kind of setting out to be more on the counter-attack, you know, like we did against Everton when Hazard, Costa and Pedro were the front 3 rather than, you know, Fabregas instead of Pedro. Obviously, after his goal, you know, by Pedro against Everton, does he deserve a start? Possibly. But, you know, like Kante said, the most important thing is winning, and if you think Cesc Fabregas starting in there to be a bit of a playmaker, because Middlesbrough will probably try to defend. They're not bad defensively, just don't really score a lot. You know, if that's what he thinks is the better solution, he's going to go for it, whether he, you know, Pedro in theory deserves to start or not. Coming to my prediction, and I'm fairly confident, although earlier I said it's going to be difficult. As much as I do still think it's going to be difficult, I think we're going to, you know, thrive from the pressure and thrive from a difficult game. Because, you know, we always do, really. I feel like we always do. So my prediction is 2-0. I was going to go 3-0 earlier, but I'm going to go 2-0 now because, you know, they are fighting in a relegation battle and they're not going to, you know, just be rolled over easily. So I'm going to go for a 2-0. I think we're going to keep another clean sheet. First of all, although they scored 2 against Man City, I think they've scored the least amount of goals all year. I think they have. I think that's Middlesbrough. And, you know, we've kept the first clean sheet in ages in the league against Everton, so maybe that's given us a confidence boost back at the back. So, you know, I not expect a clean sheet, but I hope for a clean sheet. And yes, like I said, my prediction is 2-0. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Leave me all of your thoughts down in the comment section below, obviously on the game. Leave me your predicted lineups down in the comment section below. Just leave me your you know, predicted lineups if David Luiz and Kante aren't fit, because if they are, we pretty much all know what's happening, don't we? So yeah, do that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Massively do appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching. I'm, you know, up for the game. Can't wait. And I'll see you next time.